Hey everyone, welcome to the Royce Reports. I'm your host, Royce, and today we're going to be talking about how PlayStation 5 exclusivity can actually be harming Final Fantasy 16, as well as Aaron Greenburg coming out and hyping up the Xbox Game Showcase even more with some of the things he has said. So, let's talk about it. All right, Final Fantasy 16, one of the biggest games coming out this summer. And there has been a kind of a report going on that has been circulating the internet about how the exclusivity of Final Fantasy 16 to the PlayStation 5 is actually causing lower pre-orders. So this is actually coming from Imran Khan, and he stated this on Reset Era. I bring this up because I had heard recently that Square Enix is panicking slightly over Final Fantasy 16 pre-order numbers, which are tracking behind Final Fantasy 15, even accounting for the lesser number of launching platforms. Granted, those are pre-order numbers and they're usually only useful to gauge guaranteed day one sales versus potential day one sales, so the actual number could blow everyone away. So what does this mean, right? Obviously, this is not a good thing. This is never a good thing for a company to hear that their pre-orders are tracking lower than expected. But he does have a good point, and he does state it in there that pre-orders don't really tell the whole tale here. We saw it with God of War. The most recent God of War Ragnarok actually had lower pre-orders than previously expected, but now that is one of the highest selling games for the PlayStation console. Could this happen with Final Fantasy 16? Maybe, right? So this could be a nothing burger type issue, but we just have to kind of wait and see. But at the same time, I kind of want to talk about why this could actually be the case and how this could actually harm Final Fantasy 16. And before you even think about saying that this is me just harping on Final Fantasy, I have not played the game. I don't know if the game is good or not from early previews and what expectations are of it. A lot of people are saying this is a really good game. So it probably is a good game. And I'm not talking about whether or not the game is good or not. I'm talking about the performance of the game and how exclusivity can harm it, right? So let's talk about that. There's a couple of things that go into this. One, this game is launching in a window where there's a lot of other games right now that a lot of people are playing. You have Zelda, one of the biggest games ever in existence, is having a sequel, and a lot of people are loving this. Some people are even saying it's better than Breath of the Wild. So Tears of the Kingdom, even though it came out a couple of weeks ago, is still very influential in today's market. People are still flocking towards that game. That's not just going to disappear because Final Fantasy 16 is out. That's not happening. You have to take into account Zelda. And you're not just taking into account Zelda, you're also taking into account Diablo. Diablo is a huge franchise. Diablo 2 is one of the best-selling games of all time. So you're going up against one of those. A game that has sold 30 to 50 million units, right? Like these are monster numbers that you're going up against, and you're placing it right there in direct path of these huge behemoths. You also have some other smaller titles coming out, as well as like AEW is also going to be coming out and making a splash, which a lot of wrestling fans are looking forward to. But there's a lot going on. It's a busy time. It's a busy time for gaming. A lot of things can actually take away from that, especially with all these showcases. People are kind of going to forget about things. And that is an issue that is going to be plaguing Square Enix with this release. Another thing that a lot of people are actually kind of wary about is the direction they're taking the Final Fantasy franchise. Now, to me, this game looks phenomenal. I want to play it on my Xbox. I really do. I do have a PlayStation 5. I'm just not going to buy it on there just because I don't really have a want or need. But if it was an Xbox, I'd pick it up there. But regardless, this game looks fantastic. It looks great. It looks like my cup of tea, really. The thing is, the reason why it looks like my cup of tea is because they're trying to appeal to people like me, this guy, someone who has never really got into Final Fantasy before. This is our chance to finally get into it. And because it looks so good, it looks so fluid, and it's taking a lot of inspiration from things like Game of Thrones, that speaks to me. It doesn't speak to the Japanese audience, the people who have been following this franchise the past 20 something years. It doesn't appeal to those people because that's not what they know and love. What they know and love is turn-based RPGs, Are you getting that with Final Fantasy 16? No, you're getting more of a Devil May Cry type game. And that might draw more people in, but at the same time, you're alienating your core audience. And that could be an issue. And it might be an issue. And it might be the reason why it could be leading to these lower sales. So you're probably going to sit there and type on your keyboard like, hey, it doesn't matter. Even if it did come to Xbox, there's no point in bringing the Xbox because Xbox gamers don't buy games. Right? Wrong. That is completely wrong. Right? This is a false statement. Xbox gamers do buy games if they're available on said platform. And the reason why I know this is because you can look at the stats for Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 has sold a total of 10 million units and is actually the second best selling Final Fantasy game, right behind Final Fantasy 7, which has sold 14 million units. Not the remake, but the original. So Final Fantasy 15 is really up there in sales. If you go and you look at VG charts, and it's the best way I could do this, and obviously these charts from VG charts are more of an a sort of a guesstimate, and they're not actually accurate numbers, but they're usually on par with some of these kind of guesses that they have. So they've estimated that PlayStation 4 has sold 5 million units of Final Fantasy 15, whereas Xbox has sold 1.1 million units of Final Fantasy 15. Now, I don't know if you are thinking that is a 4-to-1 type ratio there, a 5-to-1 ratio, but the thing is, 1 million units sold on a platform does not give you enough warranty to kind of move away from that platform. That's still 1 million units sold. That's some games wish and dream of reaching 1 million sales. So that is not a good enough reason. And here on Xbox, we have been begging for Final Fantasy to come over. We want Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We want Final Fantasy VII Remake. We want Final Fantasy 16. We want these things. But for some reason, Square refuses to listen. And now, because of where they're going with the franchise, because of not having it on PC, they are really tearing themselves apart. And this is what I've been saying for months now. If you watch a video of mine previously, I talked about how this could lead to financial failure for Square. And that video got a lot of flack from a lot of Final Fantasy guys. And I understand it's something that they love. It's a very intense group of people who love that franchise. But at the same time, if you love something, you got to give it criticism or else it's not going to grow. And this, because you're just hugging the Final Fantasy franchise close to your chest, you're not getting it to where you want it to be at because you're just letting all this stuff slide. And enough is enough. Bring it to Xbox and let's go. Let's buy this game and show people that there is a place for it on Xbox. But that's probably not going to happen. Anyways, that is what's going on with Final Fantasy. And it's pretty interesting. It is very interesting. But all this could be just low pre-orders, and the day the game comes out, boom, sales up the wazoo, right? And it could probably do the best that any other Final Fantasy game has ever done, which I highly doubt because even Sony's own games don't do as well as some of the Final Fantasy franchise. But who knows? Who knows? The game looks fantastic. I do wish it was just on Xbox. I am jealous. I'll admit that. But either way, I hope nothing but for the success of the Final Fantasy franchise and for those gamers that love that. And I hope that people dip their toe in it who are kind of scared of the new change and enjoy it. And the people that are getting into the franchise for the first time, because I know that 16 is also a reason why people are saying no to this, because does that mean I have to get behind 15 other games in order to catch up to play this? I just hope everyone can enjoy this game, and hopefully it's good when it comes out. Moving on to other news, I'm going to be talking about Aaron Greenburg and the showcase. Now, if you've seen my recent post of what I expect of the showcase, this is awesome to hear because it gets me even more stoked, because what he said is this: 7 days until our first ever double feature, roughly 2 hours of nonstop games, and Starfield. So that's the first thing I want to go over, is the time length has now been kind of locked down. 2 hours. 2 hours. This is what I was expecting. I was expecting a 90-minute showcase of the Xbox showcase and then a 30-minute follow-up showcase with Redfall to perform a deep dive into that game and in that world. And I think that would have been perfect. 2 hours of non-stop games. And that is a perfect Sunday for me. I'm glad that that is the case. But that isn't just the only thing he stated. A fan asked, Aaron, I recommend posting the famous temper the expectations tweet. Some podcasts have mentioned crazy expectations for Xbox Showcase. I think the show will be great, and many of the previously announced games will be there in addition to new surprises. Aaron Greenburg responded to this saying, no plans to tease, temper, or spoil anything. Love seeing all the wild expectations. My advice is just to come in open-minded and enjoy the ride. Appreciate the years of hard work so many teams have put their heart and soul into this for you all. Awesome. Hashtag Xbox Showcase. Hashtag hold the line. This is awesome. This is really cool to see that. I said this in my previous video, is that this must be a good show if no one is telling us to temper our expectations. They kind of tease Fable, and they know everyone is going wild with speculation of what that could potentially mean, if that's going to be Playground finally showing some Fable stuff, or if it means for a Fable trilogy remastered. We don't know. And no one from Xbox is coming out and saying, hey, don't, whoa, you guys are going a little bit crazy here. No one is saying that. And the reason why they're not saying anything is because they truly believe in what they have to show for this game, for this game showcase. And that is awesome. I love the fact that they are actually going out with their chest out, beating, saying, yo, we are here to show up and we are here to kick ass. And that is the most important thing before showcase, is them hyping it up for us and us just taking it all in, getting hyped, getting ready. We're less than a week out. I'm tunnel vision right now. I just need to get to Sunday. I need to stay alive. And that's it. Easier said than done, right? But that's not it. He's still going on and talking to some other fans that have some questions about what we can expect at the showcase. No movie trailers, please. Can confirm there will be no movie trailers in our game show. Awesome. So that means no Minecraft update, no Halo Season 2 update, no spinoff for Gears of War 6 or Gears of War on Netflix or the Grounded show, or even Fallout. They have all these things in the works. We're not going to get a single trailer. And this is sort of a little poke over to you over there at Sony, because they actually showed a GT7 or a GT trailer for the GT movie that they're coming out with. That's fine and dandy, but that's not a place for a game show. At a game show, I expect games. I don't expect movie stuff. So I'm glad that they kind of alluded to that and poked a little jab over at Sony there, which is pretty nice. But there's still more, which is actually where we're going to get to the biggest part of all of this. Gameplay of announced titles, please, and CGI for unannounced titles. None of our first-party games in the show are full CG trailers. Everything is either in-game footage, in-engine footage, or in-game footage with some cinematics. Each of our trailers will be labeled so it is hopefully clear for our fans. Oh my God. This is the news right here. This is what everyone has been begging for. Gameplay, gameplay, gameplay. If you're going to show a game, gameplay. That's the whole point of a game. I can't sit there, sit in my seat, watch a CGI trailer that doesn't sell me anything other than a burger that is flying through space and get hyped for that. It's like, what is this? What is this? That's what it feels like. Because you don't have any sense of the world. You don't have any sense of the story. You don't have any sense of the gameplay. You don't have any sense of the genre. You just don't know. And I'm glad that they're going to be showing nothing but gameplay for every first party game that they show. First party. So that means that if they do have a third party announcement, a Game Pass announcement, there could be some CG there. But this is awesome. But I kind of got to be a little devil's advocate here. This kind of bums me out a little in terms of what to see for the future. Because obviously, I was kind of low-key hoping that they'd be announcing a Fallout game with Obsidian or with NXL or something. And you can't really do that with gameplay because those games would be so far out that obviously there wouldn't be any gameplay. So I was hoping for a title card or something like they did with Fable, like they did with Elder Scrolls 6, just to be like, hey, boom, this is being worked on. That's the team that's doing it. Here you guys go. So that kind of bums me out because we're not going to get anything in the far future. But that might be beneficial for some people because they don't really want to see the game until it's like out. So we'll see. But just kind of, that makes me prepared going in, knowing, okay, now I know I'm not going to see any of that stuff. Now I can set my expectations accordingly. So I'm glad that he cleared all this stuff up. I'm glad that Aaron Greenburg took the time to talk to fans and to even be in the discussions with the fans. Like, he talked about holding the line. That is something that King over there in ILP has been stating for the past couple of weeks now, and it is rolling. Everyone is loving it or eating it up. He really pulled the team together and hyped everything up and told us to kind of come together as a unit and to push on forward for the brand. So what about you guys? What do you guys think of all of this stuff that Aaron Greenburg is sharing? And what do you think about Final Fantasy 16 skipping Xbox and having lower sales? Do you think it should be coming, or do you think that PlayStation should just keep the Final Fantasy franchise? Let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate all the recent subscribers. It's really awesome to see that big jump, and I can't thank you guys enough. So if you are new to this channel, please, we talked about Xbox, we talked about games, and hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend or two, you know, who knows, maybe they'll like it. And hopefully I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. So remember, take it easy.